What up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo's Theory-Palooza. Add rhyme effect here.
And remember, if you like what you see, please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to be notified of future videos.
And tell your friends, and have them subscribe as well, so we can spread all of our MCU and everything love to you people.
Have we got some cool stuff for you? We are getting ready to tell you guys about some awesome theories that we've got for the MCU Phase 4.
I think the first one is all about the Thunderbolts. We've heard a lot about them having a more grounded sort of villain leading into Phase 4. They've talked about having one grounded and one more cosmic. We're going to stick to the more cosmic, or the more grounded side for this video. And one of the original things was they were going to have Norman Osborn, and he was going to lead the Dark Avengers.
I would absolutely love to see Norman Osborn appear, even if it's, not in a Spider-Man movie, if it's not even in like some sort of Daredevil iteration. I would just love to see him appear in the MCU because he intersects with so many villains and heroes alike all across the MCU. So I would love to see them do it right. My own personal private theory that I don't believe holds any water is that I would love to see them get Willem Dafoe to reprise his role. I figure if they can get J.K. Simmons to reprise his role, why not bring back Willem? I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love to see it.
Christian Bale is another
Oh, he would
option.
be good. I would love to see him.
I think he'd be
When
great.
is Christian Bale not good? Seriously, really.
I don't know.
He's never not good.
He was even a good
American
John
Psycho.
Connor in one of the worst Terminator movies. So hey,
Yeah.
But I think after all the things that happened between Sony and the MCU with the Spider-Man thing, them pulling him out and pulling it back, I think they decided to go another direction. Almost kind of the same. Instead of the Norman Osborn leading the Dark Avengers, I think we're going to see the Thunderbolts.
okay.
And there's a few reasons why I think that's going to happen. One, we know that Zemo is going to be in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is going to be on Disney Plus this August. And we know Thunderbolt Ross is going to be in the Black Widow movie, and it's going to be about the past. And he has always had a thing about the Avengers. He wants them to sign the Slovakia Accords and be a part of the government, and they're kind of their own free reign. So I think he's going to take matters into his own hands, bring on Zemo, not knowing how Zemo really is, and forming his own team of the Thunderbolts. And as you know, in the comics, Zemo led the Thunderbolts. He stopped. He was like, we can't beat them this way, so let's beat them at their own game. Let's pretend we're a superhero team and save the day and turn everyone against the Avengers. And it worked out pretty well until the end, obviously.
Hey, propaganda can do crazy things.
Yeah.
Propaganda.
And I do think that Thunderbolt Ross is going to be leading this team at first, but I think there's going to be a huge power struggle between Ross and Zemo for who leads the team.
I could see that.
And I think it could lead to some very interesting things. We've already heard that there's going to be a post-credit scene in the Black Widow, and spoilers alert, where Thunderbolt Ross is recruiting Taskmaster and Yelena Belova.
See, now that's another character that I would love to see in live action as Taskmaster.
Yeah.
And we will in the Black Widow.
Yeah, I don't know if that last scene in that last preview, it's just kick ass. I mean,
Yeah, it looks great.
To say.
Everything we've seen, it would be nice. So we know that the Thunderbolts' original lineup in the comics was Zemo as Citizen V, the Beetle as Mach 1. He has not yet been introduced in the MCU.
None of these have, right?
Yeah, no one after this has. We have the Fixer as Techno. We have Goliath as Atlas, and he was formerly Power Man, who got some Pym particles in Iron Man Annual number 7, which was a great comic. He fought the West Coast Avengers. It was really cool. Screaming Mimi as Songbird. Moonstone as Meteorite, and Moonstone kind of played his thug within the group to keep them all in line. Now, we're probably not going to get that lineup because, like Dave mentioned, the only person who has been introduced in the MCU is Baron von Zemo.
Mm-hmm.
And we know when you try and introduce characters like en masse like that, it doesn't work out.
The other thing that the MCU so far has pretty much attempted to do is sort of have more of this has kind of been an overall theme for their movies, is they do try to have more of a grounded, less magical reason for why things are, even when it came to, some of the more mutant-like folks that might have normally appeared in the comics as mutants. They kind of gave more of a scientific reason, or they would have one of the Infinity Stones as a reason for why they have
Wanda.
the powers of that. Yeah, exactly. Like Wanda is a good example. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I feel like if they do have the Thunderbolts, they're going to probably maybe switch up how they,
Well, and I think they'll switch it up by Ross thinking he's in control of these guys, and they're his new Avengers that's government sanctioned, and Zemo's really like, we're going to play along for a while, but this is our main plan. And I've been thinking a lot about who this lineup is going to be in the MCU, and obviously I think we'll have Zemo.
Okay.
He'll probably be their field leader, at least in base. But he's really going to want to take control of the whole team, and then we're going to see the Abomination come back.
Like Tim Roth?
Like Tim Roth.
Because I know he said he wanted to do it.
From the Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
Because even on the S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC, they said he was in prison, and he's not dead. So we definitely could see him coming back. Now, we haven't heard any rumors about him being on set on Falcon and the Winter Soldier or everything, but he's definitely an option. Or we could see Thunderbolt Ross become the Red Hulk.
That would be interesting. I'd like to see them try that.
But I still think that's going to happen after he loses kind of control of the Thunderbolts, and then he's going to become Red Hulk.
Like a last
it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, it's definitely happening. I think it's only a matter of time. And then we know that John Walker, U.S. agent, is showing up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. I think he is going to be the Captain America of the group, whether it's Captain America or U.S. agent.
I think they're going to go with more of the U.S. agent route. That's my opinion.
Well, I think he'll start as Captain America in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then by the end of it be U.S. agent, because...
You don't think that the U.S. government is going to want to maybe deter from that name because of... Oh, okay.
I think they're going to want... Here's Captain America, and he signed the Accords, and he's a good government guy. He's not like that other Captain America who went back in time and lived a great life.
We're not going to get into that again.
Yeah.
That was.
And then I think it's going to be Yelena Belova as the Black Widow from the Black Widow movie, and then I think we're going to see Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp be a part of this team.
Okay.
And I think they're taking a lot of these people. The reason I picked a lot of these because in the comics there comes a point where a lot of these Thunderbolts, who have been villains their whole time in the comics, turn good. They're like, hey, this actually feels good. We're doing the right thing, helping people, and they kind of become good. And I honestly think what's going to happen is the big bad in Phase 5, whoever that may be, and we'll talk about that in another video, going to be some cosmic threat or Doctor Doom.
Yeah, they might start to ramp things up once they get towards Phase 5, for sure.
And we may see the Thunderbolts join up with the Avengers and maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy at that point, because we saw everyone come together for Infinity War and Endgame. When they all come together once again, the Thunderbolts, at least the ones who are going to be good moving on, are going to join the Avengers and help fight off this big bad. And I think they're going to be battling the Avengers throughout Phase 4 and Phase 5, and then at this team up, they're going to...
What is that the differences?
They can really slow burn this with all the shows they got and all the episodes. And before the next Avengers movie, they got so many movies, so many shows, they could slow burn the whole thing and get everybody involved.
Well, I mean, they are really good at that. They're good at doing a lot of character development over a series of movies. Mm-hmm. And now that they're doing these interconnected TV shows on Disney Plus, they could even do that better.
And if that big bad is like, well, I guess it would probably make sense to be Doctor Doom. You know, we're talking, this is not, this is for Phase 5, but, I'm thinking Galactus too. That'd be a...
You talking about for the cosmic threat?
Yes.
See, we may get the cosmic threat introduced in WandaVision and, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse.
Just introduced.
Because we're going to start seeing that more cosmic side. The first part of Phase 4 is very grounded. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to be leading...
Oh, yeah, I think they have to do that because, I mean, if you think about it from the standpoint of, the folks over at Marvel and Disney, they just had their biggest threat that it took them years to build up to. It was Thanos. He just eliminated half the life of the entire galaxy. How do you top that? So I think it is in their best interest to bring it back down to more of a grounded level, have more Earth-based villains, and then slowly build it back up again.
Yeah, because all they did with Thanos was just have a post-credit scene in the first Avengers.
Yeah.
Just kind of, hey, there he is. Didn't say who he was, and people, looked it up on the internet.
Fans actually knew who he was. Like when they saw him, like, oh my god.
But if they weren't, I mean, that was just a big boom in interest from the casual observer seeing the Avengers, seeing that guy at the end of the movie, like, who's that? They're all going to go home and look him up.
You also have your nerdy buddy who's like, you know who that is? You know who that is?
Yeah, that's Thanos.
Yeah. Who?
And now everyone knows who Thanos is.
Oh yeah,
including my 3-year-old son who puts gloves on and snaps me out of existence.
Not again.
It's just really.
But you're right. This is going to be, I think, slow burned up into a point again because they're bringing it all back down. Exactly. When the MCU first started. You had your superhero versus your bad guy, and then some origin stories, and then it built up, and we had this major threat that wasn't Avengers level threat, maybe, but it was a threat.
It's almost like they know what they're doing. Huh.
No, that's crazy talk.
Oh, okay.
They just listen to our videos and.
Yeah, they're taking notes.
Hey, we need the Thunderbolts, guys.
And then here's Sony in the meantime. Can we do Sinister Six yet?
Now, well, that's a good. Will we see the Sinister Six kind of pop up? They could be.
They might.
I mean, if it's something, we could see all these Spider-Man villains team up, and maybe the Thunderbolts take them on with Spider-Man to have that appearance of being the good guys. Mm-hmm. And Thunderbolt Ross is going to want to get them out there, get them on camera, and get his propaganda going. They signed the Accords. These are the superheroes we need. Because most people won't know what the Avengers did in Endgame.
Yeah.
People will know that the blip happened and that people know it, but no one will really know the real story. I mean, there'll be rumors of Thanos and things that happened and Tony Stark sacrificing himself.
I think a lot of people... Now, I don't know if this is going to stretch out into the greater MCU, but they did imply in Spider-Man Far From Home that the general public knew about Thanos. Because they did have, you saw those little DVD covers, they were talking about, Thanos, things on the plane. I believe even the kids brought it up in their little news segment. So I think most of the general public has an idea, but they could play it off more like how, the real world works, where you know the truth, but then you've got that small section of the public that...
And as time goes by, it
believes falsities.
That's true. I'm wondering, by what you just said there, are all these characters, could they be shared with Sony? And, are they shared back
I would
and
like
forth?
to see that. That'd be nice. I hope they don't get into another, argument over it.
Yeah, with the argument that happened last summer.
I'm
wondering if they would be willing
personally,
to do that.
I do not want Disney to buy out Spider-Man. I kind of like it the way it is. I like that they have that little separation where they don't own everything yet,
Yeah. Now, here's a question. Do you think we could see Norman Osborn in the Dark Avengers, and we could actually see Thunderbolts going up against the Dark Avengers, going up against the Avengers, and it's almost this 3-team melee where
I could see
all
that.
heck is breaking loose.
Yeah. Yeah, they could definitely, that could be the, either a Thunderbolts, sort of like a Captain America Civil War, they could have like Thunderbolts versus Avengers kind of deal where they're all fighting against each other or something like that, or this could be, an Avengers movie where that is the threat, the main thing they're trying to fight against.
They could all be fighting each other, and that's when the next big bad makes his appearance. Because
Could be,
they're all
yeah.
confused, fighting
No, it
amongst
could be,
themselves.
and we could see who they're all fighting amongst themselves. And
Yeah,
all of a
there's
sudden,
a lot of different ways that they could play this.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
They got so many characters now to introduce, and we'll get into that in another video.
Oh yeah, now that they've got all of the Fox characters, they can start.
So, come back soon, guys. We'll have that next theory video up soon. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.